Hello, my name is Lady Joanna Butragovera. In this moment, we are going to explain some ideas about some different texts, especially in my case, the teaching for understanding in GR abroad.
Morning. My name is Marilyn Juliet Almeida Cabanzo. I will talk and give about it and about the learning mobility high school from Germany.
Okay, classmates, my name is Jonathan Contreras, and I'm going to talk about the effectiveness of having a native speaker as a partner. Well, the effectiveness of having a native language partner. The development of the communicative skills of the students in the classroom usually presents a lower performance than a native speaker. It should be noted that class time available to encourage the development of language skills is limited, and the proposed activities are not enough to replace the context of everyday life and the reality of a native speaker. That's why there is a huge difference between a student that wants to learn English and the native speaker in English. So, in education, it is necessary to pay attention to the experiences that exist inside and outside classroom, right? You know that the learning is encouraged by exposing students to the language. In this sense, it provided for the creation of exchange programs through which students can interact each other with English native speakers. And this practice is beneficial due to linguistic, sociocultural, and effective considerations. In the other hand, the idea that student learning English as a second language has the same ability to understand and apply the grammatical structure of the language at the level of a native speaker must be considered carefully and objectively. Because while the idea is to promote language appropriation, educators must set real and flexible goals capable of being achieved by learners. Talking about that situation, I want to mention Hashewa 2012, who said that the interaction between native and non-native speakers is necessary. Why? Because this is a particular situation that occurs every day. So it is necessary to exchange, yeah, two languages, in this case Spanish and English, and that situation, that process enriched students in order to improve our English. This experience, such a language exchange program, LEP, of the University of Curtin in Western Australia, from which it is possible to observe and reflect on its implementation. Number one was the attendance. Yeah. So according to the attendance, said that some students that regularly attend to class, of course, they learned a lot. Yeah. Than the students that doesn't attend to classes. Number two was the participation and score on oral exams. So in this case, the teacher or the professor encouraged students to establish two-way conversations in which they practice their language skills in order to establish weekly simulation of a possible oral test. So the students who carried out these activities obtained a better result, a better score in the presentation of the exam. And number three, talking about academic results. In this sense, the program doesn't not aim to develop specific communication skills such as speaking, reading, writing, and listening. Yeah, you know that those are the skills when you want to learn a second language. However, it was related to the objective that students were more motivated to pass the course. So, as a conclusion, from my point of view, I want to say that if you want to learn a second language, the most important point is the motivation, right? So the teacher has to encourage the students in order to that students love English, yeah, and the process is gonna be easier and better. So, on the other hand, when you interact with a native speaker, it's a good process because as a teacher, I have experience with a teacher from Jamaica, from United States, from England, and the content, okay, the content let you to understand, to find out a little bit more every single day, right? So if you go abroad to a place where, of course, the native speakers, the native language is English, it's gonna be easier to learn it because you have to speak it. Yeah, you have to express yourself in order to be communicated with other people, right? So that's all for me. And please, classmates, you can continue.
Okay, thank you. The next maybe um, for me, the teaching talks of fostering the reflective learner. Um, the context and research findings over the last 60 years, scholars in many countries from disparate disciplines in the arts and the humanities have documented the multiple learning paths a student can take during his or her year abroad. Now, personal learning, cultural and intercultural learning, linguistic benefits, and intercultural competence are some of the outcomes identified in academic literature. Exist some courses. For example, the first course is Intercultural Learning Through Literary and Media Text, running the academic year. It was designed for us, uh, students in 4 years program and was divided into parts. It's lasting 12 weeks in parts 1, concept relevant to the year abroad were covered included intercultural competence, intercultural learning, in the intercultural competence contrasting select models, intercultural learning concept and process, reaction to living abroad and adjustment strategies, and study abroad research empirical findings. Now, the student feedback assessment technique was carried out between the part 1 and the part 2 in order to evaluate how the student related to grasp the GR abroad concepts discussed. Now, this assessment teaching for understanding the GR abroad showed that concepts that thought at time abstract were seen as applicable and relevant by ours, respondents with not exceptions. A continuous in the following step is to illustrate that the students show the ability to keep both an open mind and make links between culture and behavior. I think the concepts we study are helpful for a year abroad, especially to be tolerant with a new cultures and try to find out more why people acting lies and not just complain about the different behavior. Now that I have studied this concept when I start to feel they apply to me, or unless I can be reassured that I can know what respect and feel to a certain extent. They provide the foundation for further education. I think I'm less apprehensive about the GRE wave because I feel prepared now to deal with encountering aspects of another culture. Additionally, students reported that studying the concepts in this course changed their perspective. Perhaps I will seek to be more thoughtful and culturally aware than I would have prior to the course. The other course was entitled Intercultural Learning for the Year Abroad, Theory and Practice, and was designed for business students but include a handful for arts students. It was conceptually similar in the first semester as intercultural learning through literally in media tests with content focusing in the first 12 weeks or intercultural learning and living abroad. In the second semester, to reflect the fact that we this was a different cohort. Now, in the 12 weeks were spent concentrating for language for year abroad purposes or institutional German or German for university. That is, in addition to German language discussion class. Now, and the student feedback and assessment of the course was carried out between the first and second semester. Business students had the following comments about the first semester intercultural activities. Now, the conclusion is this study proposed an academic curriculum especially to prepare its students to go on Germany. But the idea of fostering reflective learner and identifying and authoritating individual goals during the year abroad resonate with other mobile groups. The finding of this study, various snapshots over a 9-year period, students in Germany and the barriers identified to learning are not unique to this group of students. And this is something I hope to do in the future. For now, in this research design that has taught me was well for academic core on help to solve. I believe that study for a year abroad in maybe in Germany or United States is very important, especially when you know new cultures, new strategies, new strategy for teaching and for learning. Um, no more. Thank you. The next, my companion.
Thank you, classmate lady. Now I will talk about learning mobility. Plays a role in the person's life. Is intercultural experience and others bits about the future. Also, it can help to build skills and develop for the future. Example, you will develop a skill reading, writing, and speaking, and to improve the learning about the language. But not all the people have the opportunity of an exchange abroad. Example, money and others problems because he can be due to social level and economy main exclusion and inequality a factor that contributor for the transnational mobility. Currently, the different agencies and institutes provide a scholarship funded programs. It's a for according to the paper Learning Mobility Highest Programs has applied transnational mobility. Germany has had a relevant experience with staying abroad of young people, especially gymnastics and drama programs that they had authored in different lights and about the last about stay I had growing in therefore it has been different opportunities for the students, for the host country and family play a key factor in the chain being a personal learning and development. The high school in Germany has had a predominant participation of female um, and girls, that in particular majority of them they had interest in language learning. It's been very important for the female participation because it allows to have other interesting opinions towards the exchange and inclusion. School exchange in Germany and staying abroad had a mainly aim with with its that participants in national mobility, science dinners, and in a lot that it can apply to the transnational schools in the future. And also high school chain allows that students have a different focus towards to the study about abroad, study about for the university at the university. Example, mm, the students in the future, the students will go to study countries, um, and also they can study a career at the university. It is a bigger opportunity for the young people because they can have different bits or different opinions about the world and the learning language and cultures and different topics for the lives. Um, in this my opinion about the reading. Thank you so much.
Okay, I've got a question to you. Do you think it is important to go abroad in order to improve English? What do you think?
I didn't listen very
Okay,
good.
I repeat the question. Do you think it is important to go abroad in order to improve the English in this case?
Yeah, that is important. That is the best way to improve our English. For example, in my case, I'm working with native people, and they teach more interesting. to learn English language. But if you can go to another country, it's excellent. But because you know the other culture, the other I don't know, the other foods, the another people, is the best. Is the best way. But if you can, maybe that is good.
Okay, so for you, it's the best way to improve our English. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So it is different from one student in here, Colombia, to learn English than a student who goes abroad to learn English. Yeah, because I think the socio-cultural way is the, I don't know, maybe the most interesting part in order to learn a second language. Yeah, because as you know, as you said, for example, if you are in United States, okay, for example, it is necessary to speak in English because if you are hungry, okay, if you are thirsty, if you want to, I don't know, maybe go anywhere, you have to speak English. So the
yeah,
context, yeah, the context
Yes.
led you to improve your English, okay? And maybe it is the other part that is important is the motivation, okay? I think if you want to learn something, it's easy, okay? If you like it, if you love it, yeah.
yeah.
The
There is
problem
a
is,
Yes, yes, right.
sorry, sorry. Continue, classmate.
huh? Okay, continue.
Yes, it's right because it's a good opportunity for everybody. It's important to know study every day learning other words for to improve the English.
Yeah,
And
that is
there's also,
sorry.
excuse me. Yes, continue.
Uh, I think that that is a needed for us. Um, Classmate, do you need something talk about something else?
Not for me, no. That's all.
Okay,
No more.
okay. Thank you for your attention, for sharing with us. Bye bye.
Thank,
Bye bye.
thank you so much.
Take care of
Okay,
yourself.
goodbye, classmates.
See ya.
See you.